Welcome to the channel. My name's Grant Tommy. This is Str8sixfan, where I like to focus on budget-minded, relatable, creative builds. Well, something I like to call offbeat hot rodding. And first and foremost, Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully you caught my hangover hangout this morning, and if you didn't, I will leave an info card up over here. But because it's New Year's Day, that means it's time for me to do my Happy Tubes year. This will be the third year in a row where I do sort of it's like a State of the Union. But before we do that, let's get the EcoBoost Mustang out of here so we can set this show up. Reminder, new t-shirt that we launched in 2019, the old Str8sixfan's 198 tee. Go pick you up one of those by clicking the link to my Spreadshirt store below if you're interested. But yeah, let's get this backed out. Alright, as I mentioned, this is about the third year I've decided to do this, so if you wanted to check up, fact check me on what we said we would do in 2019, info card up over here. But I thought the way I would start would be, let's just go through the quick yeses, things I did actually accomplish in 2019. Before we do that though, it's getting a little hot out here. There we go. Alright. Gotta support the other YouTubers, you know. Monkey Fab Garage. Go check him out. He was my hangout guest on January 1, 2019. So, anyway, full circle, right? But quick yeses. Things I said I was going to do that I absolutely did accomplish in 2019. So, we'll keep this pretty short and get through it real fast. We got new lights in the garage. I created a new end screen. I made it out to Great Bend, Kansas, where I shot the classic Iron Yard of Nobody's Show YouTube channel. Another info card. Of course, made the 1,000 subscriber mark. Now, that does it for the quick yeses. Let's go into the kind of sort of maybe category. So if we talk about this kind of sort of maybe department, actually kind of direct sunlight here. Let's get a little toasty. Whew, much better. So, I said we'll start with what's behind me, this wall. I said I wanted to do a new backdrop for like live streams and kind of just talking head videos for last 2019. I thought I was going to do that in the garage. Never got around to it because I thought I'd have extra material from this wall. This is the guest bedroom. This is where I filmed last year's episode as well, and I think the years before that. So this room is very much tied to the Happy Tube year, but I never did get that done in the garage. But this did make its appearance in the backdrop of a couple of videos. So I'm not going to say that I didn't accomplish it, but it feels kind of weak to say I did accomplish it. Another one very similar to that is Tube 66. Was to bring back the YouTube extravaganza. Again, as you guys know, I went on that trip and I had a good time by myself, but it didn't work out, even though with months of planning ahead, nobody really bit on it, and I didn't get to meet any other subscribers through that, and that was the intent of the trip. So again, I'm not going to say I didn't do it, but it feels cheap to say I did do it because it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Still had a great time, and if you missed those videos, I don't know if I'm running out of info cards yet, but we'll try throwing an info card to that one. Finally, that brings us to another kind of sort of maybe. I said I wanted to do a collab with Catfish Jones, a Kansas YouTube channel, and now I did go to the car show I wanted to in Salina, the lead sled, KKOA lead sled something something. Again, hopefully I've got another info card to give. We'll put that up there if you want to check that out, see what that's about. But it didn't line up with his schedule, so I didn't get to actually collaborate with him. But I did go to the car show I wanted to, and that was actually the same weekend I drove out to Chatterlix, or Nobody's Auto, yard. And so I shot those 2 videos in the same day. So those were both great content pieces. So pretty excited about that. But now let's get into it just didn't quite pull it off. All right, let's talk about what we absolutely did not pull off this year. And wouldn't you know it, of course I'm under my heat lamp, so it's a little bit toasty sitting under that, so let's... Whew. I don't know why I decided to wear so many layers. It's 52 degrees outside, but we'll start with, I said I was gonna create 2 new t-shirt designs. I didn't. I created the one, so maybe this should have been in the kind of sort of maybe category, the Str8six t-shirt. And of course, you know, I've always had the flagship for some time. But the more I thought about it as the year went on, I just felt like probably releasing 1 new t-shirt a year is a better path, better ratio, just a better all-around idea. So you'll see a 3rd t-shirt design from me coming up in 2020, but I don't want to get into my 2020 goals just yet. I was going to try to get my intro screen redone professionally because it never turned out quite the way I wanted. I never did that. And I wanted to finish and sell Project Low Fairmont, and you guys know that didn't happen. And then probably the biggest, I don't know, this one I go back and forth on, disappointment, is my goal was to double my subscriber count, and that would have been 1,574 subscribers today, or yesterday, I guess. And I didn't make it. I only hit 1,332 subscribers. So, you know, mixed emotions about that, because it still was one of my best years. But when I look at my growth from 2018 to 19, I think I picked up like 480 subscribers that year. So in 2019 to 20, I picked up somewhere in the 540 range, I think. I'll have to do the math on that later. But so I just figured I would have eclipsed my growth better, and especially considering when I went to the Think Media one-day event, Growth Video Live, back in September. I really thought that was going to make that month a pretty strong month, and honestly, the 4th quarter, which is traditionally a slow quarter, has been one of my strongest. I would say in the month of at least November and December, I averaged picking up 35 subscribers in 28 days, or maybe close to 40 subscribers in 30 days, something like that. So those are really strong quarters for me, or strong months, which made the 4th quarter probably my strongest. And I mean, it feels like 2020 starting off on a good foot. The promotion of course, the Hangover Hangout really did a lot, and I've already picked up probably 2 or 3 subscribers just today. But anyway, I think it's time we do start talking about 2020. If you haven't been able to tell by now, I'm trying to subliminally tell you guys, well, sort of thanks. Thanks for the relationships and the community we've developed over the years here on Str8sixfan. Stand by. And how important collaborations really are. And so one of the things in 2019 that I did do was I started a Facebook page called Central States Automotive YouTubers, and it was meant to be, now selfishly I picked the 6-hour driving radius from Kansas City, Kansas, but it was meant to be a way to incorporate, or encourage, excuse me, collaborations, just let people know, okay, who's in my area. And so now, unfortunately, we haven't really maybe netted too many actual meetups out of that, but that's something that we want to try to establish here in 2020, is do more meetups like that. So, as you guys know, you can get a Str8sixfan Pistons tee, link to my Spreadshirt store below, but we're going to come up with a 3rd t-shirt idea for 2020. I'm working on a sponsorship for helping fill out the remaining parts I need for the head swap on Project Low Fairmont. That is the big goal, is to get Project Low Fairmont done so I can drive it, have fun with it, and hopefully sell it by, I would say, probably like September of this year. Really, I want it done before April hits. I really want all of this warm weather months to have just to drive around. And even more important is I want to take Project Low Fairmont on at least one leg of the Hot Rod Power Tour. I think I'm going to drive to St. Louis as close as it gets to me, and then do one leg and then drive back at least. I don't know if I trust that many miles on the car, but we'll see. That can kind of change and grow and morph as the year goes by. Oh, immediate goal for the month of January is to finish those giveaways that I talked about a couple episodes ago. I just need to get those done, and so I'm giving myself the deadline of January for that. I really want to challenge myself to do something like our buddy Jason at Old Car Auto Guy's done, and shoot for the stars. Go for a mega collaboration, like with Nick's Garage he did, or when he did his little road trip and went to Hammer Down Motorsports and things like that. So find one that's right for me and make that happen in 2020. Of course, that also means the Rat Rod Radio Flyer wants to make a return at some point in the calendar year of 2020, because if Project Low Fairmont gets done when I want it to, I'm going to have to come up with content that's not dealing with the Fairmont. Now, I do intend on doing more Ego Boost Mustang videos and some videos on my Tacoma. There are some things that I want to do to that. For example, like maybe like an off-road bumper. I don't know if that will necessarily happen, but just kind of give you an idea of what I might do to the Tacoma as well. But the biggest X factor I believe that's going to be in my way in 2020, and I say in my way not as a negative thing, it's actually a pretty big positive, is a little bit more of a personal goal for my wife and I, is that we've been saving up money in a savings account to go purchase some land. The intent would be to ultimately build a house on it, and so once we buy the land, which we think probably by March we can start looking, we'll be at that threshold we said we need to be at, because we want to buy the land outright in cash, so you don't have to worry about financing land and then a construction loan. But after that, after we secure land, whenever that ends up being in 2020, you know, it could take us all the way into the summer, who knows, maybe in the fall next year, I don't know. But we will probably put up for sale the townhome we live in and then move to a rental, because I don't know that I really want to start a construction loan without the money that we can make off of this place. So I really don't want to deal with multiple properties at one time. I don't want to be a landlord. So anyway, that's one of those things that whenever, should that happen, should we move into a rental, you know, I'm not going to have, more than likely, I'm not going to have the luxuries of 220 power for my welder and things, and it's probably not as much storage. So we'll have to get a little creative with what we do with content from that point forward. And, you know, who knows how long the building process might take. We might be in a rental for, you know, up to a year. I don't really know. But that's kind of what I foresee my 2020 to look like. The goal is always to double subscribers. So as I sit here today at 1,332, the goal is to be at 2,664 this time next year. And lastly, let's talk some gear. So in 2020, I want to deliver smoother shots to you guys. So whether that means a gimbal, a new action cam, or a drone, it's really going to depend on what kind of revenue I can pull in on my channel. But it might be one of those things, and it might be all three. I don't know. But I want to upgrade the gear up with some gear. Subscribing. Thanks for being with me for as long as you've been with me. I don't, you know, whether that's just from today's live stream, or if that's been 5 years on March, I think it's March 8th is my anniversary, and it'll be 5 years then. It's been a ride, yeah. I wish my channel was a little bit bigger than what it is, but I'm certainly grateful for where I'm at. Here's to hoping that 2020 is a great year. That's going to do it for this episode. Until next time, peace out.